You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we think you've made the correct decision. Today is November 28th, 2024. It's a Thursday, and it's Thanksgiving, but that doesn't mean it's not a day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt. With me today is Susie Mengelt, and we love Central Indiana basketball. We're changing the format of the basketball scoreboard just a little bit. I just realized that it took a little too long to get to some of the scores of the games. So starting today, we're going to go over the previous night's scores and then go over the game details of our local games. Jace Tonagel scored 33 points in his junior season debut as Oak Hill beat Wabash 59-45. Marion defeated Mississinewa 68-49 behind 31 points from Tim Jones. Yorktown beat Hagerstown 60-51. Josiah Love and Julian Carpenter combined for 58 points in Westell's 75-63 win over Cambridge City. And Noblesville doubled up Hamilton Heights 76-38. We will have details on all of those games coming up from Susie. Also around the area, Central Catholic defeated Seeger 57-54, and Rossville got by Delphi 66-62. Garin Catholic topped Park Tudor 63-45. Cathedral beat Warren Central 75-40. Lebanon got by Greenwood 54-45. Shelbyville 54-29 over Rushville. Huntington North 62, Northfield 44. Centerville 64-39 over Eastern Hancock. And Northeastern beat Seton Catholic 74-50. Here's Susie with the details from Wednesday's boys basketball games.
We start off in Gas City. Junior Tim Jones scored 31 points to lead the Marion Giants to a season-opening 68-49 win over county rival Mississinewa. It's the fourth straight year the Giants opened the season with a win over the Mississinewa. Also for Marion, Amar Rogers finished with 15, Logan Barnes 10, Jaden Smith 4, and Tussie Jackson 3. Mississinewa goes to Huntington North in search of its first win Saturday. Greg talked with Mississinewa head coach Josh Brooks following the Indians' loss.
Coach Brooks, welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report. Took a loss in the season opener. How did you feel like your team played?
Proud of our guys' effort, proud of, their fight. A little disappointed with the number of turnovers. We ended up turning it over around 25 times for 24 points, which, makes it really hard to be in the game, when you're, doing that type of thing. But, our guys were able to fight enough, and, I think we pushed it to about 10 with, I want to say 6-7 minutes to go in the fourth, so as poorly as we had played offensively with taking care of the ball, we still had our chances late, to make things interesting. And, young group, only one returner, playing, 4, 5, 6 new guys to the varsity level. And, proud of their fight, proud of their adjustment, just got to be better about taking care of the basketball.
And that was a pretty good team on the other side.
Oh, no doubt. Tim Jones, is pretty special athletically, and, he's always been able to get to the rim, but he added, being able to hit some threes, tonight. I think he dropped 31 points on us. So, definitely came ready to play, and, he is definitely a very special player. And then you just add their size and athleticism overall, and, they really were able to speed us up and make us uncomfortable and capitalized on, those turnovers and run-outs offensively.
Who played well for you, Coach?
Keontae Woods, our post, had 20 points. Felt like he, did a pretty good job, inside rebounding and finishing around the basket. He also, I want to say, went 9 for 9 from the free throw line, which is big as well. So, he played really, really well. Our freshman, Ravion Fetz, all in all, for being a freshman and being his first varsity game, I felt like, he had good moments out there, trying to help us, make things interesting. And, just the overall effort of every guy. But, Keontae, kind of anchoring the team down, felt like he played really well for us.
Also on Saturday, Marion goes to famed Chrysler Arena to face Newcastle, which opens its season with a 74-35 win over Blue River on Tuesday. Grant Schaus and Kevin Helfrich of the Action Sports Network will be calling that game and will have a report from Newcastle. On Tuesday, they were at Wabash for Oak Hill's season opener, a big 59-45 victory. Grant and Kevin were there, and Kevin called with a report.
Well, as most opening night games, both teams came out a little bit jittery, a lot of unknowns for both of these teams here in this first game of the year. Wabash coming off a historic 21-6 season just a year ago where they won a sectional and a regional, losing primarily all of their scores from a season ago. So a lot of new guys, new faces out there on the floor to start this season for Wabash. And for Oak Hill, a lot of new faces as well. But the one thing they do have is a veteran backcourt, and that proved to be a difference on this night as Oak Hill would win behind the shooting of Jace Tonigal, sensational sophomore, poured in 33 points on the night. He was 6 of 10 from behind the arc. He pulled down a team-high 8 rebounds. He was Mr. Do-It-Everything for Oak Hill tonight, scoring the last 10 points as Oak Hill won this one.
Besides, obviously, Tonigal, what were some of the differences in the Golden Eagles win?
Yeah, well, he got support from R.J. Shugart, another returning guard in the backcourt. He was the only other Golden Eagle in double digits. He had 12 points. But it was Oak Hill's defense that was the difference tonight. They forced 25 Apache turnovers. It was something that the Apaches couldn't overcome. Oak Hill only committed 10 turnovers themselves. So, the veteran leadership from that backcourt proved to be the difference in this one tonight. Wabash did out-rebound Oak Hill in this one, 30-19. So, Coach Wright's been doing this for 12 years now. Wabash, he's led this team to 2 or 3 straight winning seasons where they've won 52 games in the last 3 years. So he knows how to win. He did that at one other time in his career there at Wabash. They had another stint of 3 consecutive years where they had winning records and also posted 52 wins. So he knows what he's doing. This is a young team. Doesn't start a single senior out there on the floor, but his team played awful hard tonight, and he's got a lot of things to be proud of. And, they'll only improve as the year goes on.
Who played well for Wabash?
For Wabash, they had a couple guys really, in scoring. Jarrett McWhort had 12 points, and then he had Cooper Long, who knocked down 4 of his 5 shots, including 3 3-pointers. He finished with 12 as well. And they had a big guy, 6'5" sophomore, 6'5" junior, Devon Osborne, who pulled down a game-high 10 rebounds. He finished with just 4 points, but he's got a nice little nucleus there to build on. And I think as this season progresses and Wabash, can handle the pressure a little bit better and handle the ball a little bit better, they're going to be in a lot of games this year. This team's got a lot of fight in it. They got down 13 in the second quarter, made a nice little run to end the half to cut it to 30-22 at halftime. And in that third quarter, they got the lead down to just 5. But both times, Owen Middlesworth, who only hit 2 shots on the night, he hit 2 big 3-pointers to push that lead back out to 8. And Oak Hill just never was threatened really after that.
Did you hear from Coach Renbarger following the game?
We did talk to Coach Renbarger after the game. I think he was pleased with the outcome, not always pleased with maybe what took place on the floor. As they hoisted up a ton of 3-point shots tonight. They shot just 11 of 29 behind the 3-point arc. In the first half alone, they shot 19. They made 7 that first half. Wabash, conversely, they hit just 5 of 15 from behind the arc. So Oak Hill outscores Wabash by 18 from behind the 3-point line. So that pretty much was also the difference in this one. Oak Hill did hit several more than they did. And like I said, Jace Tonigal, the difference maker on this night.
All right, Kevin Helfrich, where are you going to be coming up? Obviously, you're going to have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Then on Friday and Saturday, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy some IWU football on Saturday afternoon as they have a playoff game against Southwestern Kansas. And then once that concludes, I will be heading with Grant Schaus again, and we'll head down to Newcastle to the Fieldhouse, largest high school gym in the world, to see the Marion Giants at 1-0 coming off a victory against the Mississinewa Indians. They'll look to go 2-0 as they take on the Trojans down there in Newcastle.
Well, we hope to hear from you from both of them because can't wait to see what the Wildcats do in the playoffs, and then very excited about the Marion Giants this season.
Yeah, Indiana Wesleyan's had a fantastic football season. The only blemish on the year came up at Valparaiso in a close contest, and they are definitely the favorites going into this one. But that's why you play on the field. This time of year, everybody's good, and then yeah, I think Marion will. We'll see how they fare at Newcastle. They've got a pretty good nucleus back. Obviously, they lost one of their better players in Townsend from last year, but Coach Blackman will have a solid squad, and they'll look to go 2-0.
Oak Hill hosts a very good Manchester team on Saturday in the Golden Eagles home opener. Manchester beat Oak Hill by 30 points at Manchester last year.
13th ranked Noblesville had 4 players with at least 15 points and opened its season with a 76-38 victory over visiting Hamilton Heights. Senior T.J. Davidson and junior Justin Curry scored 17 each, and senior Ryan Vitor and junior Barron Walker scored 15 each for the Millers, who were 22-3 last year and play at Franklin at 1:30 on Saturday. Heights, which got 15 points from senior Gavin Saunders, has a weekend off before hosting Clinton Central on Tuesday. Yorktown won its 3rd straight home opener with a 60-51 win over visiting Hagerstown. Hagerstown was also beaten 65-55 on Tuesday night by Franklin County. Yorktown plays their first 4 games at home. Greensburg, which opens with a 54-47 win over North Decatur, visits on Saturday. Burris comes to Yorktown on December 6th, and rival Delta comes to town for the Tigers' HHC opener on December 13th. Hagerstown plays its 3rd game of the week and 2nd in Delaware County when they go to Cowan on Saturday. The Blackhawks started with an 89-47 loss at Sheridan. Senior Josiah Love went 4 for 6 from behind the 3-point arc and scored 34 points. And junior Julian Carpenter was 3 for 6 from deep and scored 24 in Westdell's season opener 75-63 win at Cambridge City. The Warriors shot 47% from the field in their opener. Senior Gabriel Becerra had a cold shooting night but finished with 13 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. Westdell hosts 0-1 Alexandria on Saturday. The Tigers started their season Tuesday with a 65-62 loss to an improved Anderson Prep team. Shenandoah outscored Daleville 38-17 in the second half to start the 2024-25 season with a 60-33 win over Daleville in a Mid-Eastern Conference contest. The Raiders had 3 players in double figures, led by junior Zane Mitchell, who had 11 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds, according to the Herald Bulletin Richard Torres. Senior Mackay Snyder led Daleville with 13 points, and senior Noah Colvin had 5 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 assists. Daleville plays its first 3 games away from home. They go to Monroe Central on Friday, then to Centerville the following Friday, before playing their home opener against Eastern Hancock on December 14th in another conference game. Elwood plays its home opener Friday at John Ward Gymnasium against Hamilton. It's the area's only Friday game. Elwood started with a 42-23 loss at Jay County. The Panthers beat Hamilton 52-18 on the road last year in the program's first meeting. We will have Elwood head coach Ryan Van Skyok to talk about the matchup as part of the boys basketball scoreboard on Friday. Saturday is a full slate. We'll go more into that on Friday's scoreboard. We'll preview all 16 games, including Frankton at LaPel in the Central Indiana Sports Report game of the night, Pendleton at Wapahani, Anderson versus Liberty at Highland, Alexandria at Westdell, Madison Grant at home in its season opener against Wabash, Eastbrook at Northfield, Oak Hill hosting Manchester, and Marion at Newcastle.
Thank you, Susie, so much for doing tonight's scoreboard. Thank you also to Mississinewa head coach Josh Brooks and the Action Sports Network's Kevin Helfrich for taking the time to join the Central Indiana Sports Report. Right this very second, unless you're driving, I want you to go to whatever app you're listening to this on, or if it's not an app, just find a place to go like, subscribe, or follow us, please. Also, every segment streams on YouTube now. Just do a search for Central Indiana Sports Report, and every segment will pop up. We hope to add video to that at some point in the future, but I am not about to add more to my plate at this moment. It would also be very helpful to us if you could go to whatever app you're listening on and give us 5 stars. If you don't think we're worthy of 4 stars, keep it to yourself. And don't lie. Don't lie and give us 5 stars, but just keep it to yourself. Right this second, I want you to think about the person you think in your life would enjoy the Central Indiana Sports Report the most, and then tell them about it. We would be forever in your debt. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. Happy Thanksgiving.